If you love Baltimore sports, you'll love WNST.net.
Hartford County. Geoff, you got 5 minutes. Have some fun.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me here. This is a lot of fun, regardless of where it goes. I was thinking about what I could talk about for 5 minutes on WNST. You know, of course, it's about sports. And I was thinking about what do I really care about the most in sports? What appeals to me the most? And everybody has something different that they are drawn to, with whether it be football, soccer, baseball, anything. And for me, the one thing that really appeals to me in sports are the storylines. You know, every game, every team has a story, and you can follow it from beginning to middle to end. And I think that's especially potent in the National Football League. I've got my start in the NFL, after all, with the Ravens. And I'm looking at this NFL offseason, and I'm seeing all these crazy storylines. It's been a bizarre offseason as far as I'm concerned. We've had the Terrell Owens being cut by Dallas and going to Buffalo scenario. We've got this monster contract that Albert Hainsworth signed, although he's not going to see all that money. We've got Tom Brady and his paparazzi potentially, or I don't even know how it happened, but possibly shooting at some of the paparazzi, his bodyguards. We've got this, some of them have been very tragic. We've got this Dante Stallworth incident. We've got the tragedy with the missing boaters, Marquise Cooper and Corey Smith. We've got players like Kurt Warner and even Ray Lewis, who there was that shadow of doubt, where are they going to sign back with their teams? We've got Plaxico Burress shooting himself in the leg. We've got some key coaches like Mike Shanahan and John Gruden getting fired. I mean, the Super Bowl was, 2 months away, and people have totally forgotten about it. And, you know, maybe the biggest story of all has been this Jay Cutler debacle. You know, rarely do you see a quote-unquote franchise quarterback being traded away as he's entering his prime. And we don't know how Jay Cutler is going to perform the rest of his career. But if you look at his first 3 years, you'd see some promise there. So, and bringing that back to the Baltimore Ravens, you know, think about the story of the 2008 Ravens going into 2009. With the exception of a couple of free agents signing elsewhere, it's been a very promising offseason and a very promising story. And that's my central theme here, is that I really think that it is a great time to be a Baltimore Ravens fan. Maybe even better than in 2000, when they went 12-4, had the greatest defense of all time. You know, go down the checklist. They've got a young, promising head coach. They've got a franchise quarterback. They've got an owner who gets it. They've got a lot of people in the organization who just get it. And I don't think that you can credit that enough. We can talk about it for 5 minutes. I don't know how much time I have left here. But, yeah, looking back at the 2008 AFC Championship game, Ravens Steelers, I know nobody really wants to talk about it that much or wants to remember it that much. I was there, and I felt the pain along with everybody else. But I'm going to make a case that I think that game, as horrendous as a loss it was, that was a pretty important moment for the Baltimore Ravens. Because if you look at teams like the Indianapolis Colts and the New England Patriots, the teams that have won all those big games, those Super Bowls, even the Pittsburgh Steelers, before they got to those key moments, they suffered those key losses as well. How many AFC Championship games did Bill Cowher get to and lose before he won Super Bowl 40? You know, the New England Patriots got to a couple of Super Bowls before they finally won one. Same with the Denver Broncos in the 1980s. John Elway went to 3 Super Bowls before he finally won them. Games like that, those losses, you know, they hurt, but you learn from them, and then you get better from them. And I think that the Baltimore Ravens, John Harbaugh, Joe Flacco, Ray Lewis, they're going to take that loss, and they're going to become a better team for it, and they're going to win multiple Super Bowls as a result. And the storyline of the Baltimore Ravens is that at this moment, you know, the 2008 season was special for me because, you know, I worked for the team, but I think it'd be hard-pressed to find a fan who didn't have an awesome time with an 11-5 team that went to the AFC Championship game. And I think we can all look forward to the story of the 2009 Ravens, and the story of the Ravens in general will be pretty promising for years to come. So, I don't know how much time I have left, but 30 seconds? Okay. Well, in that case, I've said everything that I could say. I'll just give a shout out to McDaniel College and my dad, who I know is listening right now, and maybe some people who I work with. So go Green Tear, go Cougars, all that jazz, and thanks a lot.
If you love Baltimore sports, you'll love WNST.net.